Congratulations on the betrayal. According to Hamid Mir, believe it or not, whatever is happening around us is very bad. A case of revolt against the opposition leadership has exposed the hidden contradictions not only in the government but in the entire state, to the whole world. Accusations and cases of sedition against the opposition leadership in Pakistan are nothing new, but the speed with which the sedition case registered against the PML-N leadership at Chaudhara Lahore police station has become a disgrace to the government of Prime Minister Imran Khan is unprecedented. Here the case was registered, there the Prime Minister declared disassociation from the case. Let's assume that law and order is a provincial issue and the federal government has nothing to do with the registration of such cases directly, but the constitutional head of Punjab, Governor Muhammad Sarwar, made it clear that he is not in favor of registering sedition cases against politicians. On the other hand, Lahore police issued a formal statement saying that the case has been registered on the complaint of an ordinary citizen as per the law, but this ordinary citizen turned out to be an activist of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Not only has he turned out to be an activist, but 5 cases have been registered against him in the past and he is one of the notorious criminals in his area. Journalists did not know much about the plaintiff in the case, but some Lahore police officials voluntarily quietly provided information to some journalists about Badde Rashid Khan Hira, and said that the plaintiff in this case of sedition is in fact a wanted criminal who often puts pressure on the police through his connections with key PTI leaders. This person has connections with many influential people, and at the behest of these influential people, the police unwittingly registered a case of mutiny against more than 40 PML-N leaders, although a senior Lahore police officer had verbally told his colleagues that the Lahore High Court and the Islamabad High Court had given clear directions that under Section 124 of the Pakistan Penal Code, a case of mutiny can only be registered by an official of the provincial or federal government or a law enforcement agency, but in this case, the services of a person who has repeatedly broken the law with illegal weapons were hired to prove the opposition a traitor. In a hurry, the police not only demoralized itself but the entire government. The most unfortunate aspect of this case is that at the request of a criminal, a case of mutiny was registered against the elected Prime Minister of Azad Kashmir, Raja Farooq Haider, in Lahore, the heart of Pakistan. The trial has sparked a wave of anger and regret among Kashmiris around the world, including in Azad Kashmir and occupied Kashmir. You may disagree politically with Raja Farooq Haider, but remember that he is the only elected leader of Kashmiris across the board. The Indian government dissolved the Assembly of occupied Kashmir 2 years ago. According to the law, new elections were to be held within 6 months, but these elections did not take place. Therefore, the political significance of Raja Farooq Haider is that he is the only elected leader of the entire region of Jammu and Kashmir, and raises his voice against Indian oppression beyond his means. It is a sign of the Indian government's hatred of Raja Farooq Haider that in September 2018 the Indian army fired and shelled his helicopter in the Abbaspur area near the line of control. Raja Farooq Haider narrowly escaped the assassination attempt. He was traveling not in a military helicopter, but in a civilian helicopter, and there is a tradition around the LOC that civilian helicopters are not attacked, but Raja Farooq Haider was deliberately targeted. The Indian army is also familiar with their lineage. His father Raja Muhammad Haider Khan was one of the Kashmiri leaders who announced the breaking of the ceasefire line in 1958 and was arrested. His mother, Saeeda Khan, was from Srinagar and was the first woman member of the Azad Kashmir Assembly. Due to these, Raja Farooq Haider also speaks Kashmiri language. Did the Lahore police please Narendra Modi, the enemy of Kashmiris, by registering a case of mutiny against this Raja Farooq Haider? This aspect is reassuring that Prime Minister Imran Khan and most of his ministers are not very interested in taking this case of sedition forward because they know that the PML-N has benefited a lot from this case. It is a pity that Imran Khan used to proudly call himself the ambassador of Kashmiris, but this case of sedition has weakened Pakistan's case on Kashmir in the international arena. The same allegations that the Indian government makes against Saud Ali Gilani, Yasin Malik and Mirwaiz Umar Farooq were made by the Pakistani government against Raja Farooq Haider. The main accused in the case was former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Seeing his name in the sedition case reminded me of the time when US President Bill Clinton gave many temptations to the Prime Minister of Pakistan Nawaz Sharif to stop the nuclear blasts, but Nawaz Sharif made Pakistan a nuclear power on the 28th of May 1998. I have been very critical of Nawaz Sharif during his tenure, but as a student of history I am saddened by the fact that we changed Prime Minister Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, the founder of the nuclear program, and made Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif a traitor who detonated the atomic bomb. Ordinary people say that if General Pervez Musharraf is not a traitor despite violating the constitution, then there is no traitor here. The accusation leveled by General Ayub Khan against Fatima Ujna has been leveled against Nawaz Sharif and his associates, which is why the accused in this case are congratulating each other. Dear friends, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe now and share with your friends for more interesting political stories and articles. Thank you.